Hello everybody. We don't have a whole lot going on at the moment right now. I got some things going here and there. Let me move that saw. I got some things going. So I got something I need to do. I need to clean the carburetor on this thing. I know. We done a carburetor cleaning video yesterday. I know. I'm sorry. That was a Mack carburetor. It's a Husky. I got carburetors that need to be cleaned and videos that need to be made, so we're going to make a video cleaning this carburetor. This shouldn't take us too awful long, I don't think. I hope not, anyway. This thing may need a kit in it, so I may have to put a kit in it too. I think I do have kits for these, if need be. So we're just gonna snatch them apart right quick. Ain't trying to get nothing deep or crazy going on, just trying to throw a carburetor cleaning on this one right quick and get it ready to go. This will be one of the saws. This will be one of the saws at the saw event come December the 11th. This is basically my saw. It is. It's mine. But it doesn't run right, so it needs a carburetor kit or a cleaning or both. Whichever one it needs is what it's going to get. Whichever one it needs is what it's going to get. We're just going to try to do a quick and fast. Come on. Gas line does not want to let go. I'm trying not to destroy the gas line because I didn't really want to put a gas line in it. But it is not wanting to let go. Come on, gas line. What in the world? I ain't never in my life. There's a little bit of gas coming out now. That means we got the seal broke finally. There we go. The gas line's been on there for a while. This is a 11 or so saw, I think. The gas line's been on it for a long time, y'all. We gotta get the pulse tube loose. Now, we gotta do something with this D handle because whatever people say is whatever people say, but I personally despise a D handle. I do not like them. I do not like the way they feel. I think they are atrocious. That's my personal opinion. All right. You want me to film it from here, or should I put it back on the stand like we did that one yesterday? Let me get the carburetor float off here. And it appears that those things have already been taken care of. So, see how y'all like that up close. Give me just a second. I will reposition you. All right. I do not know why, but for whatever reason, it stopped recording and I had to start it back. So, no big deal. I'll go ahead and pop them together here directly. I guess I could zoom in on the carburetor, but most of the things that I'm going to show, I think y'all could see it fair. Well, she's a little tight. She ain't got no gas in it either. Ain't got no gas in it. That's definitely a problem. Let's see. This is the way I lay my stuff out, y'all, so most of y'all have seen it before. Now see, this one only has a single one in it. The one that we done yesterday has 2 in it. It's supposed to have 2 in the old Max. I don't have one out here to show, but the one that I showed yesterday, I was talking to a fella about it. The one I showed yesterday, there's a brown one and a black one, and the brown one has a hole in it over on one side, and the black one does not. The black one is actually a pump, and the brown one is just a flap backer. It's just a backer assistance for the flaps, and it creates a small extra amount of space inside the carburetor. I do not know why. If I did, I'd tell you, but I don't. So, half. About 3/4 of a turn. We're going to go ahead and screw these all the way out. This is the low screw. It's about 3/4 of a turn. And the way you check it is you screw them in before you screw them out. And count the rotations. So wherever it's at, you say half. And it's at 3/4 also. So we're going to set them back on 1 and 1 probably. Because they were probably running 50 to 1 in this saw originally, and its life will no longer be 50 to 1, it will be 32 to 1, because I do not run 50 to 1 in my saws, because I don't mind buying spark plugs if one happened to fail. But you know, to this day, I don't think I've ever found a spark plug. Y'all see the debris in that screen right there? We're gonna clean that out. I'm just gonna take some brake cleaner and spray it through these holes. There's no secret to what I'm doing here. It just ain't much way for me to show y'all, because if I do, I wind up spraying the camera lens. You just want to spray all this stuff out. Make sure everything has some type of flow to it. And so far, everything does. We're gonna go down the holes where the jets go. We just blowed everything out real good, and blow all that stuff out of there. And sometimes depending on what's stuck in that screen, you might have to rub that screen a little bit to get the stuff out of it. But I'll tell you another thing, if you've got one that you're trying to fix and the screen stopped up and you need to leave the screen in there because it's just nasty, you can take that thing out, you can take the screen out and hit it with a cigarette lighter and burn the stuff off of it. I gotta get a kit. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we're gonna check this kit out because I'm not sure if this will fit or not. I know this one's a little bit different, but I don't know if this one's different or not. And it may be. If it is, I might have to back up and punt. I have to go look to see if I got a different kit. This one is backwards. Alright, hold on. Alright. Sorry about that. It happens to all of us. Let's figure I'll show y'all some of that sometimes. I don't always have the right one. When I get it out of the box, it turns out that it's not the right one. I think this is the right one. but I don't think they've done a nice job with this diaphragm. They've been rough on it. Sometimes they get them bunched up in there somehow or another. That appears to be the correct one. This one's just a little bit on the tight side, so we're definitely going to do away with it. You know what? I don't see a screen in there. I did blow the other screen out of it, but we'll get one here in a second. Just taking these gaskets off and shooting a little brake cleaner over it and just washing it off, cleaning it off. That way it should be about as good as new. Let me find the screen. Alright, I'll tell y'all a little funny story here in a second. Well, some people think it's funny, some might not, but it was funny. Even the fella that I did had the thing with, even he laughed. That fella brought a chainsaw carburetor in here. You know, I just told you I took the screen out. When, you know, that's what the little screen looks like. I had a fella, I sold him a carb kit, and he put it in his saw, and he brought it back a couple days after he got it done, and he told me, he said, I don't know whether I did something wrong or if there's something wrong with that carburetor kit. I said, why, what you got? He said, well, it run before, it just wouldn't run good. And he said, I come got that carburetor kit off of you, and I took it back to the house, put the kit in it. He said, now it won't run at all. Well, for some of y'all know, that's a Welsh plug, or we call them Welsh plugs anyway. What he had done, he took the screen out of the carburetor and he dropped that Welsh plug down in there. And even though some gas can get around it, it doesn't work very well whenever you do that. So he effectively dropped the Welsh plug down in the hole on the carburetor where the fuel comes through. Now, this is an aftermarket kit, and I don't have a problem with running aftermarket kits. I use them a lot on a lot of stuff, but since this is a low hour saw without a whole lot of run time, and you can tell that because the paint ain't wore off of it, I'm not going to change the needle and stuff out because the needle and all wasn't leaking. It just didn't run good. There's a little bit of corrosion here from set. This saw set a whole lot. It was a Ventmaster saw for the fire department. So I'm not going to change the needle and stuff out, but we're going to put a new flapper in it. I think this is the right way. We're going to put new gaskets and flappers and diaphragms in it. Gasket, flapper. And it goes on the body of the carburetor. Y'all, there's a lot of people that change Welsh plugs and stuff like that when they tear a carburetor down. They change everything, and I'm gonna tell you I don't. I tell you right off the bat, I do not. I take it apart and I look at everything, and I've had this saw sitting here for a while, so I know the needle's not leaking on it because it had gas in the tank, and if the needle had been leaking, the tank would be dry. And I actually cranked the saw too, so I know it would actually run and stuff. But if I don't know them, I'll usually change the needle and stuff like that, and the rubber parts, the diaphragms and stuff. I'll change all of that and then try it. And then if there's an issue after that, then I'll pull it back down, change the needle, and stuff like that. Because sometimes you can, sometimes you don't have a problem with the needles and stuff. The needles are rubber tip and the seat's brass. So they don't wear a lot. I mean, they will wear over time, but this saw don't have hardly any hours on it at all. And you can tell that by the paint. Because if it had hours on it, the paint would be wore off of it. But it's not. So I just take them apart, clean them, change these diaphragms, the gaskets. And if it's questionable, I'll change the needle if I have one. So what I try to do is I just try to change the soft parts first, and then put it on there and try it. And if it runs, then I go with it. If it don't, then I change it, pull it out and change it, see what happens. All right, that's in there. So we're gonna go, there's where our tab is on our screwdriver. So we're gonna turn it 180 degrees. And that would be half a turn, one whole turn, and you're back where you started. And we're going to do it with both of these because I think that'll be a good starting place. On most Huskies and Steels, I'll start with one turn. On most Macs, I start with 1 1/4. All right, now the handle's pointing right straight back at me. And the screwdriver slot is this way, so we're going to rotate it all the way 180 degrees. That's half a turn. And then one more. That's a whole turn. And the handle's pointing right back at me. Those are just base settings. You got to set the carburetor after you get that done. So we got her done. I'm going to stop it and we're going to put it back on. All right. Now, we got the carburetor clean. We're going to stick him back on here. Move them hoses out of the way. Slip it right back down in there. One bolt. 2 bolts. That's all we needed. Got that back on there. Put the pulse line back on the front nipple. Fuel line back on the rear. I'm going to put the choke lever back in there. Throttle cable is hooked up. We're going to do something with that handle too. Matter of fact, give me just a minute. All right, we got the carburetor back on. Now we are going to do away with this D handle because I do not like them at all. I might put one on one of them old big saws, but I don't need one on this. Like I said before, I find them extremely atrocious and just awful. This saw's got a good bit of compression. I know what's fixing to happen. I'm fixing to wind up turning that thing loose inside the handle. That's what I'm fixing to do. I just want to put a little bit of heat on this rascal. There we go. I already like that a whole lot better. Look down in there, a little bit dirty. It's a little bit dirty. It's got some bar oil stuff in there. These things, like I say, they were cut-off saws, or not. It's like a cut-off saw, but they usually cut holes in the rafters and up in the ceiling. So they're really dirty. Really dirty saws. So we got that slobbed on there. I need to pull this side cover off over here because I got to check out the oil pump and everything. I don't know what. Okay, never mind. It's got the right sprocket on it. They were 404. This one's already been changed over to a 3/8. So put some fresh 32 one in there. We're gonna see if it'll fire off and run. If it will, it will. If it won't, it won't. If it does, it does. I figured it probably will. We'll give it a shot anyway. She runs good now. Okay, so now that she runs good, it'll be ready to take the test out and see how it does and everything like that. I'm finished cleaning it up. I've got to put a set of dogs on it. I'm probably gonna do a port job and muffler mod it sometime or another, but probably not right now. Cause we got more than enough stuff to do and it runs. So if I need to use it, I can, because it runs. It's a little dirty, but it runs. I figured that's all it needed was a kit. But that's what we got. We're gonna get her cleaned up. There'll be a pork job coming on it eventually one of these days. And who knows? Maybe we'll try to do something silly. You never can tell. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Stay safe out there. Be kind. Treat each other the way you want to be treated. And don't forget, we have a fall event coming up December the 11th of 2021. We'll be starting somewhere 8, 9 in the morning, something like that, and go until the end of the day. We'll have some hamburgers and hot dogs probably. Don't know exactly how many, so we'll just feed whoever we can while we got stuff there, and that's the way it's going to be. So y'all stay safe, be kind, treat each other the way you want to be treated. God bless, and Bellhopper out.